The Lord be with you. Reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John. Jesus said to his disciples, "As the Father loves me, so I also love you. Remain in my love. You keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I've kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you this, that my joy may be in you, and your joy may be complete. This is my commandment. Love one another, as I love you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I no longer call you slaves, because a slave does not know what his master is doing. I have called you friends, because I've told you everything I have heard from my Father. It was not you who chose me, but I who chose you, and appointed you to go and bear fruit that will remain, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. This I command you. Love one another." The Gospel of the Lord. Can anybody predict what the first words out of my mouth are going to be? Happy Mother's Day! Come on! You should have seen last Mass. Maybe you got here early with the traffic. It was packed, packed, packed. You know why? Women got their husbands who don't normally go to church. There's a couple of you here now. And their kids to come on in. Come on in. It's awesome. It's awesome. Mass is awesome. And if you don't go to Mass too often, maybe this will be the day. This will be between their musical abilities, some humor, maybe some enlightenment, some encouragement from Jesus, and maybe through me, and maybe the fellowship of this community. Maybe your heart will be open, and you'll get the deepest truth of all. Remain in God's love. Remain in his love. Outside these doors right now, there's lots of awful, horrible, bad things going on. Lots and lots and lots of them. Here we're safe. We're safe. And we're directing our attention to the Lord, who can actually change things. Not a political party, not a union relationship, or with some other kind of club. Jesus Christ, he can actually change things. Prayers change things. Prayer changes things. Okay, back to moms. Happy Mother's Day. I'm going to be really nice to you. Well, of course, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Women have made, any good successes in my life came from women. Really. My mom is awesome. My grandma, the teachers, the nuns, the staff. Again, if I didn't have a staff to help me with weddings and other things, I asked Donna, who's the manager of the office, I said, what do you think about my organizational style? She goes, what organization? Anyway, to my mom, who couldn't be here, my mom's aging, and she doesn't want to drive the hour from Chicago. I'll go see her later this afternoon. To all the aging all the moms in nursing homes, all adoptive mothers, all mothers who've lost a child or had to bury a child, single moms, some women who have to work. And remember, if you got to work, that's fine. Working moms, God bless you. Never make fun of stay-at-home moms. That's the hardest. Hey, Monsignor, nobody works harder around here than Monsignor Hermes. And Monsignor Hermes would tell you from this pulpit, and with me and Father Simon with him, nobody works harder than a mother. Nobody. I remember being a young priest. Oh, side story. That man over there, somebody go like that. He's going to be a deacon Saturday. They're going to ordain him a deacon. Yes. His name will be Reverend Mr. Kyle Mano. Looking forward to the day. It's going to be a great day. We're going to Mass. We're going to preach Sunday here. What time? 10:30 noon. So come back 10:30 or noon next week. For those who don't go to church, back to back. Be a daily double for you. Huh? Come on back. Okay. So it's all about moms. What's mom's main reason for existence? I have an answer. So my mom's not going to be here. I'll see my mom. I love my mom. I love my mom so much. I'm a total mama's boy. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I don't ever want to disappoint my mother either. Bad idea. I don't want to disappoint my mom. And I found out there was a guy in this neighborhood whose mom lived somewhere else who was calling his mom twice a day. Well, I was calling my mom once a day. No one's going to love their mom more than I love my mom. I call my mom twice a day. Now, what do you think of that? Come on, that's right. I'm not making this stuff up either. Love my mommy. How can you not love your mommy? I still kiss my mommy. She came out here for my birthday, which was the other day, Thursday, and your response to my birthday was entirely underwhelming. Thank you very much. I should have said thank you very little. Anyway, what do moms exist for? Seriously, I'll tell you what moms exist for. The main reason for a mother's existence is to raise children, to show them, love them, teach them, to love your children. Moms and dads are the first place where faith is born. Moms and dads are the first place where love is born. The church is not the first educator of the children in matters of faith. It's the parents. And we learn the most basic understandings we have about life and love and forgiveness and service and giving and charity, all from our homes and from our moms. Isn't that what the church does? Isn't that that's what I'm supposed to do? Now, I don't. For some, I might need a velvet hammer. For some, I might need a jackhammer. But it's really all about love. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the money, folks. It ain't about guilting you. I'll guilt you. I have no problem with that. You deserve a little guilt. I was talking to one guy the other day at Starbucks. He goes, "Hey, if I listen to you any longer, it sounds like you're going to wash my brain. You're brainwashing me." I go, "Buddy, I've been talking to you for 20 minutes. You could use a good brainwashing." Okay? No, my point being, it's my existence. The church exists to broker a deal, if you will, between God and you. You see, we were born from our mothers. Christ was born on our altars. And then we receive him in Holy Communion. And he's born into our hearts. It's so important. But Father, I already have faith. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. It was good enough for your mom. It was good enough for your grandma. Make it your own. Make it your own. I slept outside last night for a fundraiser for the homeless. It's called PADS. They do a temporary shelter, and it is temporary. And the poor homeless have to move around from church to church and area to area. And I learned a couple things from sleeping outside. First of all, I learned, boy, I love the guy. When I got home, got my own bed. And I was able to sleep this morning. I got home about 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was raining last night. It was cold. I had covers. I was under a shelter. But I realized this. Of all the memories I've ever had, the good ones, they're from my home. They're from my mom and my dad. I didn't go on to accomplish some great feat with travel and education and whatever else I consider an accomplishment that is a better memory than my childhood. I had an awesome childhood. I can't thank my mom if I have another 60, 70 years to live. I'm not going to live that long. In heaven, I'll be thanking my mom for her sacrifices, for her sufferings. You know, too many couples today have this idea of, hey, we're going to get married and have kids. It'll be a win-win. It's usually not a win-win. Parents usually lose. They make sacrifices and they're suffering so the kids can win. That's what they do. And I'm against, obviously, spoiling kids and hovering. Well, helicopter moms. Oh, my goodness. The best thing about not being the pastor, I don't get those phone calls from the school. Poor Monsignor Hermes. Did you hear what what's her name did, the teacher, and Johnny, and whoa, I'm not the pastor. Call the pastor. Please, call the pastor. That's not me. The Catholic Church is one of the few organizations where if something goes on, whether it's lawn care, something I said, whatever, you don't call the Catholic Church and say, hey, I want to talk to the number 2 guy. You always get the boss on the phone because that's how we roll. I want to talk to the boss. That ain't me. You won't be talking to me, but you may be talking about me. And that's wonderful. So, again, back to moms. I realized I can't thank God enough. One more thing I learned about sleeping outside yesterday. Monsignor let me, I don't know how else to explain this. A priest is a priest 24 hours a day. But he let me off the clock at 1 o'clock yesterday. I had a cell phone in my pocket for emergencies. I had a Saturday off. I have not had a Saturday off in this country. In this country. So if I'm off on Saturday, I'll go to another country. Or go on vacation. That's just true. I've had a Saturday, I married Nadine, the 6th grade teacher's daughter, in a marriage ceremony like 2 years ago. They were having a nice little baby. So I had a day off 2 years ago on a Saturday in this country. And I had a day off probably 16, 18 years ago in this country. That's the truth. I don't want to hear any more whining about, oh, it's Sunday, and it's Sunday. You get Saturday off. Most of you people get Saturday off. I don't get Saturday off. So don't give me this line, oh, it's Sunday. We want an hour of your time, Mr. and Mrs. Important Pants. You can't give us an hour of your time? Well, why? Because it said, keep my commandments. You know the 3rd commandment. Come together. We're going to sing and pray. We're going to be fellowship. We're going to communally worship God in the way he designed us to worship him. Remain in his love. Look, folks, you know this. You know this. There's a strong current and force outside these doors. It's pulling our children and all other people through technology, social media, and all these other avenues into consumerism and materialism and exploitation, violence. The media and all those others, people are ginning up a lot of stuff. And, I bet you, if you're a regular TV news watcher and you stopped, your blood pressure would go down. Think about that. Think about that. So, anyway, yesterday, 2 more stories. This is the best story I've heard since 6 p.m. last night about a dying mother story. I was with, at the Pads thing took place at McHenry at St. Holy Apostles Church. And I ran into the 105.5 DJ, Joe Cicero! Anyone know that guy? He's pretty cool. His dad went to St. Mel's, a Catholic guy. So we were talking. He goes, Father, I got to tell you this story. He says, when my mom passed, I was holding her hands, and I was crying. And at the moment of her death, I saw a flash of light come off her stomach. I said, Joe, that's awesome. This was yesterday. He came to the 10:30 Mass to thank me. Pretty cool. His mom, so with tears, he's crying, but he still felt, because of his faith, it gave him the hope that his mom was in a better place. What am I going to do when my mom dies? Besides cry, I'm just grateful she gave me good memories. For all deceased mothers, and for all the, can I say this from the pulpit? You could correct me later. Someone will probably complain. For all bratty children who talk back to their mothers, stop it. If I use this line in grammar school all the time. That's why I use this line. If I was married, little boy or girl, and you talk to my wife the way you're talking to your mother, there'd be a problem, I'll tell you right now. My world would stop with some of the things kids say to their mothers. I would stop the world. Stop. Well, no, we got to go to baseball. We ain't going nowhere. Well, there's food. There's no food. There's nothing. If you can't protect the woman you love and the mother of your children, that kid is liable to disrespect anybody. They can't respect their own mothers. So how about dying mothers? Donna Cathera, the woman I mentioned, she's our parish manager. She does so much work for us, and myself in particular. Her mother just passed, but she was in her 80s. She was ailing, and Donna's okay with it. The funeral mass is going to be at 12 o'clock this Friday. She served us for over 20 years, Donna did. And when Senior, he got the message, so he does not text, but he's got this device you can talk into that makes your voice into a text. You know what I'm talking about? So, lots of love. I don't know what's going on. I'm just making this stuff up. I'm a major texter, okay? I don't know what that means. No, I know what that means. I'm kidding. So, when Senior texted Donna, and he gave her prayers, and then he texted her this, he said, may God give her eternal peace. And the machine printed and typed, may God give her a turtle's pace. Happy Mother's Day.